children didn't happen. And it's probably because I never really saw myself as, being a mom. Like I've been secretly okay with it, but I felt ashamed to actually admit that.
Welcome to Listen to Black Women. I'm L'Oreal, and I'm joined by a whole lot of fun, okay? My ladies here are always going to keep it real, hold it down, and be unapologetically Black, of course. Now let's start with my girl Jessie Woo right here.
Having the freedom to be who I want to be is having it all.
Danielle Young.
We've gotten to such a privilege of being able to shift the narrative of what womanhood looks like.
Melyssa Ford.
We're the rich auntie uncle.
Yeah.
That's me.
And of course, Torrei Hart.
I ended up raising my kids by myself. So you never know how it's gonna play out.
Ladies, we're definitely gonna need some champagne for this one. So let's take a little toast.
Pop champagne.
Cheers. Because we're talking all about the modern day woman. But even before we get into that, I have a bone to pick. Okay, Melyssa.
Yeah.
I fell for you, girl. Joe Budden. I heard he had a lot to say about listen to Black women. Or Black, what was it?
They came up with a couple of, quips and funny little names for the show to, I guess, highlight that I was, on a couple of episodes.
Recognizing.
Take one to know one, Joe.
Cheers. Now let's cheers again for that one.
Cheers to that, friend.
Period. Shout out to our brothers for listening to Black men. Mm-hmm. They come over here. Sometimes they got to check us. Sometimes we got to check them. Mm-hmm. It's an understanding. We have mutual respect. Never called each other out each other's name. Mm-hmm. I just felt for you because I know the type of person you are. I know you're a very smart, beautiful woman. And sometimes it's cringy and hard to watch. To see a man like him try to act like your opinion, that is not valued like it is over here. Because, we value you.
Thank you. It's definitely a situation where, I feel like an interloper. You know what I mean? Like, it was very much a man cave before I came along. There was quite a demand to interject a woman's point of view because it was so guy.
Speaking of something else that just makes no damn sense to me. Jonathan Majors. Right?
Oh, Lord.
Numerous times he has said that he's looking for his Coretta Scott. Would you consider yourself a Coretta Scott, ladies?
I think people often forget that Coretta Scott King is and was an activist. Mm-hmm. And I find it very weird that after you get caught up with being on a white woman, and in the midst of trying to rebrand, you go and you get Megan Coretta Scott King.
Because guess where you ain't gonna find Coretta?
And while I love her too, I have to be honest, this man is going to a Black woman to rebrand.
But they still together.
Yeah.
And he got found guilty. They still together. So maybe they might be in love.
Megan is a treasure in our community, which is why a lot of people were like, girl, no, because we hold you up here.
I look stupid as hell. Let me tell you something. I was on air ain't no damn way Megan is dating this man.
And let me make something else clear too. It wasn't that Black people weren't supporting him. His most viral cover was the ebony cover.
Well, I want to go back to the Coretta Scott of it all because even in that little speech, hearing the audio that he was given to Grace, and telling her, I'm a great man, and
I'm like,
don't you know who I am? He was comparing himself to Martin. And it's like you're trying to get a first lady, essentially.
I watched a lot of the trial. I read the transcripts. There were a lot of times when he was asking that white woman to save him by not saying anything, by staying quiet.
Exactly.
Right?
I've been in an abusive relationship, and I've chased his ass.
Okay.
And he's whooped my ass and stomped me down to the ground. And I had 2 black eyes. And I couldn't come outside for months.
Literally.
And that man, people was defending him, and people were saying that this is a good man, this is my guy, he's a good guy. And imagine being that woman, white, Black, I don't care what color you are, and he whooped on your ass, and everybody's telling you you're lying because you chased him in one video.
Right. Well, you know what? We don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
So, when modern woman, right, we are protecting ourselves. Because now it's coming to the situation where we're blamed for things, even when we jump behind and help and try to save somebody, we're the issue there. So is that the modern day woman?
No.
The modern day woman is just, we've gotten to such a privilege of being able to shift the narrative of what womanhood looks like. Like my mom married to get out of her house, and her mom did the same thing.
Right.
And I couldn't imagine that for myself. You know, I'm 39 years old now, and I would like to be married and get in a committed relationship and all of that, but I don't want to do so just to like escape or welcome in this next part of my life that I think this person is going to usher me into. I don't want to be nobody's Coretta. Like, I'm having a great time being Oprah. Whoopi. I like all the people that don't want nobody up in their house.
What about when you want a sugar daddy?
I really do. It's a
We talked about this, and I told you.
There's a
It's
website for
dream.
that.
What is your reasoning behind that?
I mean, I know that there's a lot of negativity around that, but I would love to be taken care of and not be any of my money. I don't want the control part. If I could cater it.
9 times out of 10, when you're leading with the money, it's because you want to be able to control the person.
Yeah.
So you use the money to kind of keep
Draw
them
them
in
in,
a certain way.
Yeah, but even the broke ones, they want.
They
They
want to
do.
control
Yeah,
too.
they
Which
want
is why the
control.
modern woman is out here kicking doors
But you
down.
also said, no, but a real man is going to provide and not have to look at it as, well, I'm providing for you so I can control you.
Eventually, it all will. Do you have to be out this late? Is it why are you coming in this late?
That might be respect.
Because it's my job. I'm a comedian. I have to be at nightclubs till probably 2:30 in the morning. Like, and it started off not controlling, but then it turned into that, just throwing little hints here or doing it in a subtle way to try to make me say, oh, well, maybe I don't need to be out 5 nights a week when I know that's where I need to be.
Yeah. Well, how about if it flips? We all have a couple dollars up here, right? Modern woman. Is the modern woman willing to be the controlling one and take care of the
Yep.
man and let him be a stay-at-home dad?
It's not for me because the ship has sailed on children for me. Like, that's just not gonna happen, So for me, having a man in my life is somebody who is like, will be a really great addition to what I've already set up for myself. Like, I'm now a homeowner. I have a really great
Congratulations.
job. Thank you. So it's just like the guy that would be perfect in my life would be somebody who wants to be a witness to my life and I'm a witness to theirs. We're the rich auntie uncle. That's me.
So you never thought about kids, marriage? And
No.
I've always thought about kids and marriage, and now it's totally flipped. I am at a point where I do not want kids. However, I'm also open if the partner situation comes in and there's kids involved or what, I am open to that. But I feel like I'm having to keep remaking that piece in order to not make myself feel like I'm mourning some life that I didn't get, that I thought I always wanted. And
It's also making peace with the decisions that you feel like you were always supposed to want, but you never really actually wanted them. If I wanted something to happen, I would have made it happen.
Right.
Children
That's
didn't
real.
happen. And it's probably because I never really saw myself as, being a mom. Like it wasn't in the cards, and I've been secretly okay with it, but I felt ashamed to actually admit that,
Why? Because other women made you feel that way? Or society made you feel?
It's a societal pressure to
Yeah.
make you feel like if this is not being used, your uterus is not in use, then what use are you as a woman?
Yeah.
You know what
But
I mean?
they make men too, because a guy that I've been seeing, he doesn't have any kids, and the first thing that people are all, and I was guilty of it too. I was just like, you ain't got no kids, but I caught myself and I was like, no, Torrei, don't think like that. Just maybe he just hadn't found that person.
But it's a little bit more forgiving for them. Like they can get away with being like the George Clooney, like bachelor
Right,
for
the
life
Bachelor.
kind of
It's
thing.
always cuter.
It just is. For women, it's just like, what's wrong with you?
I've met someone recently and he's in his 40s and he doesn't have children. I'm like, I had a slight moment where I was like, okay, you sure you got no kids? Like, you sure you got no kids in Haiti somewhere?
Right.
Like, but also I was like, maybe God just saved this one for me. Like, maybe that was my little treasure to find.
Here's the funny thing. So I didn't see myself having kids until I was 35. I had kids 9 years earlier than 35. And so, in my mind, I was like, oh, okay, so I'm not gonna have a career. I couldn't navigate and do as much as I wanted to do. So, now that my kids are older, I feel like I'm a little late to the party. But I'm starting to remove that out of my head because I'm like, no, Torrei, now is the time. Your kids are older.
I was gonna say, you are the party.
Yeah, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you so much for watching. I want to thank y'all so much for opening up and just expressing everything, all your feelings, all the truths. This is Listen to Black Women. Thank you so much for watching.